Hey everybody, this is John Whipple, Publication Specialist with the Alaska Grown Program, and I'm out here in the heart of Mountain View at Grow North Farm. And I want to introduce you to a group of folks who are instrumental in getting this program running. Hopefully some of you have seen the ads for this already. I discovered this place just last week and can't wait to introduce you guys to it. This place is incredible. So, without any further ado, Nick, why don't you start us off there?
Hi there, I'm Nick Bachman. I'm a programs associate with the Anchorage Community Land Trust and one of the coordinators here at Grow North Farm.
Hey everyone, I'm Issa Spettisano. I'm the Program Director of Catholic Social Services, Refugee Assistance, and Immigration Services Program. We're one of the partners here at Grow North Farm and work directly with refugee clients, many of who are the business owners here on site.
And hi, I'm Emily Cohen. I'm the Director of Communications and Development for Anchorage Community Land Trust, and we are, of course, partnering with the RAISE program and Catholic Social Services to make the farm possible.
Awesome. So, a lot of you guys are probably asking yourselves right now, like, okay, so what is Grow North Farm? Why are we here? And these guys are going to explain it much better than I am, but the central gist of it is this is similar to a community farm, except for they're partnering with folks who are recent refugees from all over the world and providing an incubator space, providing business opportunity, training, and the actual environment. This farm here, I believe it's 1,600 square foot per farmer, approximately.
Each plot you're looking down here, so 1,600 square feet. There are 9 operators of those spaces, and then the Refugee Assistance training program, Fresh International Gardens, also has a plot in the space.
Awesome. That's so cool. So essentially it's giving refugees a space to start a farm, and then the resources and connections to not only grow the product of their choice, but also to sell it. They can sell it here on site. We'll talk more about that in a little bit, and we'll show it to you. And they also have been getting opportunity to sell at wholesale as well. Which I guess there's benefits to each one, right? If you're selling direct, then you get to charge more. If you're selling wholesale, then you get more time to spend with your family on it, right?
I think that's an important part of the education piece, and that Nick worked really hard at, and Keenan, who works on staff at RAISE, and that's part of what the farm is about, is teaching all the different ways to be an entrepreneur, and that looks lots of different ways on site. That may be direct sales at market, that may be selling wholesale, that may be our beginning start to see about a CSA on site. We did a really small scale test run this year, and that's all about showing all the different ways that you can make sales, and for them to figure out what's best for me, for my family, for my business. And that's where ACLT comes in as really technical assistant experts to help clients make those decisions. And so it really is an incubator space of ideas almost in test runs to see what works.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I think it's just so imperative that all of the farmers have that flexibility to experiment with what works and what doesn't, and use that as a learning opportunity. They don't have to commit to their own plot of land, maybe out in the valley, and know that they've got this set amount of cost. The farm is able to provide them with the flexibility to experiment.
That's great. And if I didn't say it before, ACLT, Anchorage Community Land Trust, that's who owns the property here and is instrumental in running this, and then also Catholic Social Services. Yeah. So, good deal. Well, let's walk around a little bit. I want to show you guys this. Obviously, the point of all this is to let people know that this is here. So come on down. We're at 3601 Mountain View Drive. Is that right?
You got it.
Heart of Mountain View, in the business hours 4 to 7 for people who want to come down and get fresh produce. Those of you who follow this page probably know that fresh produce is where it's at. Different types of products lose so much of their nutritional value after 1, 2, 3 days after harvest, and so to be able to get fresh produce right here and in this time of COVID and other economic hard times, to be able to support small business and infuse money into the community is a cool opportunity. I know a lot of you guys are interested in that, and this is one more venue for that, for you to come down and help support local and get some awesome produce and some unique stuff. We're gonna show you some cool, unique things that you can't get a lot of other places, because we do have refugees from all over the world, and they're bringing a lot of that culture and a lot of that knowledge, and sometimes produce as well from that area.
So, should we walk around a little bit?
Yeah, let's start at just looking down one of the plots. So this whole space to the fence is one farmer's plot. Each farmer's growing between 10 and 20 different varieties of produce. Everything from Alaska staples of carrots and potatoes, cabbage, kale, everything you'd see at a regular farmer's market, to products that I can pretty much guarantee you won't find anywhere but here. We're trying different amaranth varietals that are grown around the world, sorghum, some corn we have growing this year, which I understand some people do, but some really unique varieties. And a Nepalese garden cress is one that just came up last week, and we've all been enjoying the unique taste of.
Awesome. Super cool.
So, yeah, these are the 5 plots that we have. These were kind of the primary action last year. And I kind of want to use that to frame how 2019, our first year, was a success, and how we are evolving and shaping this program in 2020. So 2019, a lot of farmers were really selling at farmers market, trying the farm stand, kind of rigid to that model of growing produce and harvesting for weekend market. As we were talking about with our Set Up Shop program, that's a business training program that we host at the Anchorage Community Land Trust. We were able to do the business classes in the fall and introduce folks to wholesale, to value-added goods, to CSA, and to alternate ways to make sales and really define success for themselves. So this year, as we've said, people are really exploring each of those avenues. And between that and just more and more traffic to the farm stand, we're really, really happy with how this year's going. About the farm stand, that ability to grow and sell on site is critical to this program. So a lot of the farmers live here in Mountain View or in Fairview or neighboring neighborhoods, where they're taking the bus or walking to this property every day. So they're able to walk here, work on their harvest, work on cultivating their produce, and sell it right here, without having to pack up into a car, with the ability to run and harvest. You know, farm stand hours are Monday 4 to 7, and a lot of that produce is harvested, 3:30 to 7. It's really as fresh as it gets right here from the property. When you stop by, you can see it happening, you can be a part of the action. So
That's pretty cool, and that's hard to beat. It doesn't get much fresher than that, right? We'll show you guys in a little bit. We'll go up front. We do have a couple of the farmers here today, and they have some produce, so you'll kind of get a feel for what's available a little bit.
So this probably looks hopefully similar to some folks' plots at home or in the valley. The vegetables are doing absolutely amazing this year. The rain has helped a lot, and these hot streaks have also, we've made it through. So we're really happy to see some green, healthy products coming out. Why don't we take a look at, should we take a look at the snap peas? I mean, those are coming out
Heck yeah.
probably this week and next week. Honestly, probably my favorite product at Grow North Farm. I just love buying a bag and just snacking it at my desk. Or here.
Snap peas is something that everybody's been looking forward to as I've been making the rounds to different produce venues.
There's some strawberries coming up as well.
Nice.
Some flowers. This is exciting. So last year we had 6 entrepreneurs that were on the site. 1 moved away, and then we had 3 new folks join the farm this year. And one person has a smaller plot just over here that we can see in a moment, but they're like, I want to do cut flowers. And that's a completely new product that no one had really tried last year at the farm. But now, just through conversation and informal collaboration, other people are trying flowers this year as well. And that's just something that the farm stand's never had before. And that comes out of this great kind of spirit of collaboration within individuality. So everyone recognizes that each farmer You know, you go to Muldoon Market, you'll see 6 of us there, and it's absolutely amazing. You know, you have different varieties that different farmers have, but everyone's trying to do their best themselves, but everyone's also helping each other out. If someone runs out of turnips, you'll have one farmer say, okay, here's some turnips to go back on your stand, because everyone likes variety at a farmer's market and at a farm stand. So we really get to, really the farmers are getting to navigate the best of both worlds within collective action and kind of economies of scale in some ways, even collaborating to participate in wholesale, while getting to say, you know what, farm stand is not me today. I'm going to go, and I know one of the other farmers is going to be out there as an individual selling their product.
And I think it's important to talk about the different countries on site, which we haven't said
yeah,
yet.
definitely.
So we have Somali farmers on site, Bhutanese farmers, Nepali farmers, South Sudanese farmers, Burmese farmers. Those are, I think, are big countries. And then in the Fresh International Gardens program, which it bears to talk a little about, which is, you know, when you move from Africa or you move from Southeast Asia and you arrive in Alaska, the crops you traditionally grew back home might not grow here. And so there is some education that has to take place about, like, at what time do I plant? What do I plant? How do I harvest it? And so the RAISE program for a long time, for over 10 years, has had a program called Fresh International Gardens, which is a cooperative program where you learn farm skills in a group setting, you sell cooperatively, and at the end of the season, all the earnings go back out to everyone based off the hours they participated in the project. So all of the independent farm entrepreneurs primarily are graduates of that FIG training program, who did FIG for 2-3 years, gained the skills, and then said, like, wait, I can do this. I can do this on my own. I maybe brought skills from back home. I maybe ran my own market shop, you know, and have entrepreneurial skills. So how can I do that, you know, on my own independently? And so we talked about both being on site, and that's really important to us because there's a Fresh International Gardens area over here, and it's important that new arrivals, so we have a new arrival from South Sudan this year who's been on site a lot. We have an asylee from Cameroon who's been on site a lot. And that asylee from Cameroon keeps saying, how do I get one of the big plots, right? And so it's really important to see where you can grow, to see what you can accomplish. And so for starting with just 6 gardeners, like independent business owners, up to 9, and now we still have this little plot of fig, and now you have the next generation that's saying, wait a second, how do I get my own plot? How did they get that? And so you'll see the farm is always growing, but we're always trying to hold some space too, because we want to leave space for that next entrepreneur to have access here. So additional countries that participate in the FIG program from the Democratic Republic of the Congo. And so, you know, we see anywhere, Mexico. South Sudan, and so a lot of different languages, a lot of different countries represented, but like that partnership and learning together is a key element of this, because for those first year farmers, they're going to these people that have been growing here in Alaska now for 8-6 years and saying, how are you doing that? What do you do when you get this bug? Or even like, what is this crop? Because they're growing things they've never seen before. Like, they don't even know. One of the clients just told me that's been here less than a year, said, I ate mustard greens for the first time. I ate them in a stew and they were delicious, but she had no idea, and she's been growing them for like 3 months. But she just like didn't even know what they were. And so that's one of the really cool things, and we encourage people to come out and like, don't just come and buy produce. Like, we want to invite you to come and meet the people that are farming on site. Like, come in here and walk around. Like, sure, it looks beautiful on camera, but it's way better in person. So that's a key part of what we're doing here, is like also building a community space, you know, and so we want people to participate in that with us.
Yeah, and so that's over 20 farmers that are on site day to day, and so 9 of those are independent businesses, but there's a whole lot more farmers on site than just those. And there's a whole section, I'm sure that Nick will show you shortly, that is purely experimental, so that farmers are able to see, hey, I have these seeds from
Uganda.
Yeah, wherever the heck in the world, and I want to see if they'll grow in the Alaska climate, and they've got the opportunity to do that without taking up their valuable plot space for stuff that they know that they can grow successfully and sell.
And yeah, I want to speak, that plot is primarily managed by Fresh International Gardens, and I want to just add one thing to like why having that training program here is just so key. Where within the training program and the staff support, especially this year with COVID and not being able to meet face to face, it's very difficult to communicate over 9 different languages without being face-to-face and having that time. But this year we're able to trial the CSA, so having the weekly box pickup. We have right now 18 shares that are going out every Wednesday for CSA, and show farmers that other model like in real life, and they can even participate in that. Where now we can say, you know, what do you think? Is that going to work for you and your business? And in 2 weeks we're going to try to launch, or we are launching, we're really excited, a weekly farm box where you can buy online, and you can visit the Catholic Social Services website or the Anchorage Community Land Trust website and participate in buying a weekly box that is harvested by each of the 9 individual farmers and collaboratively packed. So we're excited to try that, and that really wouldn't be possible without seeing it happen with Fig. And then that I say that to speak to, let's go over to the global garden, where despite what, you know, frankly, like my assumptions or many people watching this assumptions that, oh, unique produce, that will sell so well at market. Like if you have something new that no one's ever seen before, people want it. To the farmers, they see people buying carrots, potatoes, radishes, beets, turnips, kale. They say, I want to grow those. I've seen those sell. But to be able to say, you know what, we'll try this with Fig, and we can see if this is going to sell. We'll see if this product moves. We'll also see if it grows. But to really push people to think about, what do you love from home? What do you wish you could have in your market garden? And let's see if we can make that happen.
That's really cool. That's exciting. And
I feel like that also sets this place apart a little bit from other farmers markets or other gardens, right? Other farms.
Yeah, and let's take a, I don't know if you can take a close look. So this is dodo, also called quintonil, also called something in Nepali that I don't know. We learned about this because one of the Congolese farmers from Fig said, hey, I want to grow dodo, and they made it happen, having an uncle who's now in Uganda send seeds here.
wow.
We had to do our research to be like, what is
dodo?
this? And we learned that it's an amaranth varietal that instead of being harvested for the seed, is harvested for the leaf. So we learned, okay, cool, they eat that in the Congo. We learned that they also eat that in Bhutan and Nepal, and they eat that in Mexico. And it's like, well, geez, we're just behind the times. And yeah, it's most similar to lamb's quarter, if folks know like wild lamb's quarter here. But we had our first harvest that went into CSA this week. Again, we get to try that. We'd like to talk to some restaurants or other folks who might want to incorporate a product like this. But it's just one example of unique stuff farmers are growing. Here it is kind of seeding out. You can see just so much like amaranth.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and then let's get over to the chungshur, the Nepalese garden cress.
This stuff is cool. I got to try this last time I was here.
So
What do you how do you say it? Chungshur?
Chungshur.
Yeah.
Chungshur.
And in Arabic, Rashad.
In Arabic, Rashad. There you go. That's what it turns your world around when you're here and you see a vegetable that you've never seen. I'm no like expert, but I spend a lot of time around this. And then you have 3 or 4 to 5 different languages that are saying, oh, we grow that at home. We call it this. We call it this. We call it this. Just like, wow. You think America, the space of global products, but geez, it's different everywhere. So I'm gonna harvest some, and actually I'll invite you all to harvest your own, so I don't need to touch your food here. But this is chungshur. Yeah.
It's so good. And it's really unique too.
Yeah.
The flavor on it, I don't know. How would you describe it? It's kind of
Yeah, it has a mustardy
Yeah.
taste.
mustardy.
It's like spicier than arugula.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it has that nice arugula.
Mm-hmm.
It's easier to eat, in my opinion, than arugula is,
Yeah.
like on a sandwich or
Peppery.
That's how Iraqi clients are eating it.
Yeah.
Is they eat it with like, traditional bread, like flat bread,
Mhm.
and they roll this up with tomatoes.
Oh,
and
sounds
maybe
so good.
hummus or something. They just
Oh,
eat
yeah.
it raw.
Mm-hmm.
As like a sandwich. Actually, one of our Iraqi case managers, like farm stand opening day, one of the farmers had this and she pulled it out, and I'm not kidding, she was 20 feet away and she sprinted And she said, where'd you get that? She said, I grew it. She goes, how much is it? She was like pulling money out of her
Oh,
pocket
yeah.
so quick.
This
So we
stuff has
eat
a
this.
kick.
Yeah, we eat this in Iraq. I can't find it anywhere. I can't believe it's here.
Mhm.
She ran to her sister's house that lives right over in Mountain View, 5 feet away, and then brought back sandwiches to everybody at the farm with it in it. She was so excited to be able to have us eat it. So it's like,
That's awesome.
yeah, we're shocked all the time at how much we don't know. That's
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this huge kick at the end. That's what always gets me. You're like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. It's, and then, oh, hey, wow, that is different than anything I've ever eaten.
It's like a spicy arugula or kind of a toned back nasturtium. How
Right.
that will just hit you right in the face.
Super spicy arugula. That's a good way to put it. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna be a good boy and put my mask back on here.
And then we could take a peek in the greenhouse. I love this spot. This is a couple from Oaxaca, Mexico, who are not with the RAISE program. They came to the farm to set up shop. Again, that's the small business program that we run with Anchorage Community Land Trust. But their plant knowledge and their skills within market gardening are just absolutely amazing. We should take a look at this.
All right. Yeah, let's do that.
They're truly like artists to the trade in a lot of ways. They were ahead of it. They're the only folks that are going to have garlic coming out this year. And you can find them at the Spenard Farmers Market, where they'll have a vegetable stand and also sell prepared foods, traditional Oaxacan foods.
Nice.
So they have tamales and pozole, and really anything else that they feel like bringing on that day. But you see the early season, you think it's just that great week or two when things are still pretty small, and then you see 8 different ways to rack snap peas come up, where some people are taking branches from a lilac bush from home, some people are using the fence here, and some people are doing something as beautiful and ornate as this.
Which all comes down to what they know from wherever they hail from, right?
What they know, what they have here, and just, yeah, there's an amazing, just like entrepreneurial skill. I think really broadly within the refugee community, there's such a depth of resilience that comes from that experience. And it's just like, let's make it happen, let's do this, let's have some fun.
All right. Greenhouse time.
Greenhouse time. Maybe for social distances, I'll just let you go ahead.
Excellent. Oh yeah.
But,
Look at that.
so only 3 heads of corn in here, or 3 stalks. And I think a few different varieties is what you're seeing there.
That's awesome.
Some are ones that came from Mexico.
Okay.
That they were able to get, I believe. I don't know actually how they got some of the seeds, but some are from a community member who had traveled to Mexico, particularly to some colder climates in Mexico, and said, hey, Grow North Farm, I know that's happening. This is something that might be able to work in Alaska. So if anyone has any fun seeds that they think they could try, let's talk, because we're not the only people in Alaska, as you know, who are excited about seeing what can happen here.
Yeah, it's the unseasonably hot summers we've had. There's been a lot of people who have had success with corn lately.
So one of the big questions that I think a lot of people are wondering is just, you've mentioned several farmers markets other than here on site where the produce is available. Can you maybe encapsulate that off the top of your head? You guys know what are some of the different venues that your farmers are attending?
Yeah, I'm happy to. Muldoon Farmers Market is where most folks are right now, and yeah, I stopped by last Saturday afternoon, and it's kind of like the north half of Muldoon Market. It's just Grow North Farm and some other setup shop entrepreneurs really holding it down. That's a big place where you'll find a wide variety. And then Spenard Farmers Market, that couple here is selling at Spenard Farmers Market. It sounds like a few of the other farmers might try to branch out to Spenard Market as well. So those are the 2 really that
You would see most clients at.
yeah, that you'd see folks at this point.
Okay.
The farm stand's big.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Oh,
first
yeah.
and foremost is the
Yeah.
farm stand. Yeah, Monday
Right.
through Friday from 4 to 7 p.m. And it's a variety of farmers that are out here day to day. So it could be different selection and different farmers selling every day. So it's definitely worth stopping through for that. And on Tuesdays at the farm stand, all produce is half off for SNAP and EBT users. So anybody who is receiving food assistance is able to come to the farm and get 2-for-1 produce, basically. So we're definitely trying to get the word out about that. Please tell your friends and your family, anyone who might benefit from that, because it is cheap as can be.
That's a big deal.
That's a super big deal. We all know that paying for farmers market prices is a little bit more expensive than getting some of the stuff at big grocery stores that shipped in from outside. We feel, of course, that that's well worth it. You're putting that money back into the community. You're getting a better, fresher product. But for those people who are qualifying for food assistance, getting 2-for-1, that's a no-brainer. Right? That's a big deal. That's awesome.
Good deal.
Yeah, and then our farmers are also, maybe Nick can talk to this more, selling through a variety of other sales channels too. So, of course, the CSA that Nick mentioned, and that's kind of experimental this season to see, again, what works, what doesn't, and hopefully we'll expand that in future seasons. But the weekly produce box, we welcome everyone to test that out and give us your feedback and give it a try. And those sales are going to open up next Thursday. So stay tuned. You will hear from us about how to purchase those, and you can just go online and order your box of produce that you'll be able to see what'll be included inside, and pre-order that for the following week. So just come pick up and get your box of vegetables and get on your way.
Yeah, and we understand that a lot of the supporters to agricultural programs here in the state of Alaska tend to be older Alaskans or Alaskans who are retired, and unfortunately, farmers markets or other places we've seen, they don't want to necessarily come out because they're worried about their own health and safety. And so part of the weekly farm box, if you have concerns about safety and you're not wanting to come and shop necessarily, just order a farm box. You can even set it up, or we'll just bring it directly to your car, put it in your trunk for you, and zero contact, fresh produce, quick, easy, and accessible. And so we want to make sure that the market, touches all those supporters that have long been supporters of our program for a very long time. So it's a great way to still support the farm, even if you're social distancing. We'll be sure to help you do that.
Absolutely. And then a lot of our farmers are experimenting with wholesale contracts too. So you'll actually find Grow North Farm produce in Evie's Brinery, pickles, cottage goods. You'll find it at different restaurants around town, including Fire Island and Spinard Roadhouse on occasion. And so we're definitely looking at partnerships like that farmers may be interested in supplying wholesale. So if you are the owner of a restaurant, or you know the owner of a restaurant who may be interested, we'd love to work with you too.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So for people who are wondering, hey, I want to help out. I would love to be a part of this in some way. Who should they reach out to? What are the opportunities? How can they help out? And also, then adding on to that, how are different people able to apply as refugees, right? Where is that venue to be a part of this as a refugee as well?
I'll speak to the refugee side of that question. So the Refugee Assistance and Immigration Services Program at CSS is the only refugee assistance program in the state of Alaska. So while you're looking at Grow North Farm, here we do a lot of other work in the city, and the state, I should really say. Over 30% of the clients we serve do not live in Anchorage. They live in the Mat-Su Valley, they live in Delta Junction, they live in Juneau, they live in Fairbanks, and we work across those communities too. And so maybe another Alaska Grown video can be looking at the amazing farms built on properties of refugees in the Mat-Su that we worked with, so they could grow at home. But if you have a client or you have someone in your community you think qualifies for our services, they can always just contact CSS Alaska. CSSalaska.org. You find my information there. It's Patrasano, the program director, and we would be happy to see if they're eligible for services. And we do a lot more than just the farm agriculture program. We have employment services, case management, health services, and a number of other activities. And so everybody who's here on site, primarily through the refugee program, we're lucky to have great federal partners. The Office of Refugee Resettlement provided us a grant to build up this agricultural program. And so we're in the first year of a 3-year cycle of that grant. And so most people are connected through us to the site, but there are always people living in this community we aren't aware of, and we also serve a lease, so that's another group of people that we're seeing a rising caseload in that we might not be aware of, that's already here living in the state of Alaska. And then volunteers, probably Nick can speak best to if you want to volunteer or contribute to the site.
Happy to. And I'll speak to, for if you're a farmer or operator living in Anchorage and you're looking for space, you know, this isn't only a refugee farm. We are trying to make this a space where anyone who is trying to incubate their business and grow within agriculture can find an outlet here, be it possibly grow space or collaboration or other ways to work. So really, if you feel like you have a way that you can support or collaborate, contact us, contact me. I am so happy to field any of those requests and point you in the right direction, or meet you out here at the farm and give you the tour and talk about how you could get involved. And I want to, volunteers. That is like this place. That is like the word. This place could not have happened without so many people who have volunteered. Probably some people watching have come and moved the soil that is now growing the dodo or other things like that. Last year in 2019, we had over 700 volunteer hours donated to the space. So that's people from the community, from J-Bear, from AmeriCorps, from different institutions that were able to come out and just help us make this thing happen. This year, a little different. We aren't really able to host those big volunteer groups, but if you have a group of under 20 folks that want to come out and lend a hand at the farm in the way of manual labor or other types of organizing, possibly canvassing the neighborhood to get the word out, contact me, Nick Bachman, at Anchorage Community Land Trust, and we can make that happen. And this year, within our COVID adaptation plan, we have shifted from those big volunteer days to taking on some people who are more farm mentors. And these are folks who have contacted us directly and have said, hey, I have a weekday afternoon that I would love to give to this project. Here are some of the skills I have. Here's what I want to get out of this experience. Let's talk. And we get those coming in from time to time still. And if you're interested, feel free to contact me. We're trying to have people help us with the farm stand. If you're not someone who wants to get your hands dirty, we need a little bit of help with some of the administrative stuff. There are opportunities to help out here, and I'd be happy to have that conversation with anyone who is looking to play a role. This is a community project, and we've been really, really grateful to have the support that we have had so far.
That's awesome. Well,
I really appreciate everybody taking the time to show us around. And before we wrap up, I know we're getting close to our 30-minute mark here. We've probably gone over it a little bit at this point, but I want to show you guys the stand out front before we close off. So let's go do that real quick.
Yeah. Some zucchini coming in, a cucumber trellis.
The key here, guys, there's so much cool stuff going on here as far as just helping out in the community and as well as producing a great product. And they need to get the word out. So please share this video. Please tell your friends. And then, of course, please come on down here yourself. The more people that know about this, the better.
We're
Awesome.
on Facebook Live. We're showing folks the farm stand. So hopefully you can come out, see all the produce. Look at this.
look at all that.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
And you can find both cherry and pashpati at Muldoon Market as well. Pashpati has some really great herbs, both fresh and transplants that you can get. Different flowers, basil. Your oregano last week was amazing. I used that to cook a chicken. It was unbelievable. Yeah, there's more oregano. Wow, look at that turnip.
Jeez, yeah.
There you go.
Awesome. All right, so again, hours, Monday through Friday, 4 to 7.
Monday through Friday, 4 to 7.
Awesome.
Yep.
Cool.
Well, guys,
Cherry would be out
Really?
here. She's picking more radishes to add to the stand. Really, as fresh as it gets.
that's awesome. So 3601 Mountain View Drive. We're in the heart of Mountain View. come on down, check it out, buy some produce, and spread the word. Share the video. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. And thank you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.